Hiya. I've been looking on YouTube for co-housing and to see what people are sharing, but there isn't much around, so I thought I would add to the conversation by adding some of my own. So this is going to be our journey. Ryedale co-housing may not be the same as yours. In fact, it won't be, because the more I read about co-housing, the more I talk to people, the more I think that each place is unique, and it's for a perhaps specified group of people, or it's a rural, or it's urban, or it's low cost, or it's more on the eco, which isn't generally low cost, or various criteria. So where did we begin? I think I knew about co-housing in Denmark. I must have read about it, or even possibly seen something about it in Denmark. I don't know. But then I saw something about Ouch, the older women's co-housing in Barnet, London. And this just chimed with me so much. This is how life should be, really, more neighbourly. For those who don't know what co-housing is, do look on Wikipedia. Great definition there. What it is not is living in community. Some people choose that. That's different, and it might even be part of co-housing, but that's not what co-housing is. In co-housing, you live independently, but you're in proximity to others, and there are shared facilities. So it might be a communal house, laundry facilities, shared gardening, recycling, whatever you choose for that to be, whatever the group wants to do. And I say group because it might be a group of 4. I think there are 4 flats in Sheffield. It's a co-housing project. Or it might be a group of 50, could be 100 people perhaps. I don't know if they go that big, but they might do. I think currently there are around 60 of these projects in the UK. If you live in one, it's not a project, it's your home. And generally speaking, it's your home for life, because people like that way of living. What's not to like? It's simply a neighbourly way of living, looking out for one another, not looking after one another. If somebody needs care, for example, then that can be got in. But if somebody needs a bit of shopping because they're not very well, or they need a lift somewhere, then usually there'll be somebody on hand who can help, or who can arrange that if they can't do it themselves. It's that kind of thing. It's just being neighbourly, really, like the old village street, or the old town street as I remember it when I was young. But so we began, Ryedale being a rural area in North Yorkshire with a few little market towns. And where would we place ourselves? We've had a long journey already, although nothing to show for it. It started with a few friends thinking we could do this, and then people decided maybe to stay where they are. Then others got interested, people we didn't know, some we did know. And what we're finding, and I think perhaps others are finding, is we don't have exactly a definable group, because most people are waiting to see what's going to happen, where's it going to be, how much is it going to cost, will it suit my temperament, what will it be like? And most people perhaps want to see the end product before they feel they can commit, which is okay. But clearly there've got to be some people who get the thing going and who can see what it could be. So very few of us who are sort of initiating, spearheading this, and looking in detail in Ryedale in particular to see what could be suitable. Which town do we want to be in? Do we want to be in a town? We've looked, there's some very suitable places right out of town, very attractive. We could have a swimming pool, we could have loads of land, we could have all sorts of things out in the country. Well, we've come to the conclusion that we don't want to be out in the country. We want to be near to a market town. By near, I mean less than a mile. Well, actually, probably less than half a mile if possible. Or this is a big ask. We would like to be able to walk into the town easily. We're not an older people's thing specifically, but obviously people will get older, and it's going to be so much easier if we could walk into town and get our shopping, or have a coffee, whatever it is, and be involved in the community, hopefully, because although co-housing becomes a kind of loose community, not communal living, but a sort of community, nevertheless, you're part of a wider community, and we think that's healthy as well, to be part of something beyond just the immediate group. We haven't fixed the size of our group. It'll depend on the premises. Are other people finding that? I suspect so. It depends what you can find. If you're looking for a piece of land, is it tiny? Is it enormous? Is it likely to get permission? Round here, most likely not. Less than half a mile from a town, almost certainly not. There's not going to be anything here, or if there is, it'll be very expensive, etc. All those things we're coming up against. So then we start thinking, well, maybe we could convert something. A group of holiday cottages would be ideal, and we've kept our eye on a few groups of holiday cottages. They're not for sale, but if they are, they're usually out of town, a couple of miles out. Lovely places, some of them, but we're trying to keep focused. We don't have many red lines, but one of them is no, not out in the country. We don't want to be in the situation where you've got to be ferried in and where you don't really feel part of the community that is Pickering or Kirby Moorside or wherever, one of the small market towns. So that's where we're at the minute. We do have our eyes on one or two things, and we'll talk about that in the next session. If anybody listens to this one, then I'll do another one later on. Sorry, it's very amateurish, but who cares? This is a conversation, isn't it? We're just passing on what we are finding, and hopefully others can do the same. Thank you.